Like to call the meeting to order. Roll call.
President Byrne,
Here.
Trustee Cook, Trustee Oppenheim,
Here.
Trustee Takaoka,
Here.
Trustee Hebda,
Here.
Trustee Schultz,
Present.
Trustee Markart.
Here.
Okay, we have a quorum present. The meeting's called to order. Pledge of allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First item is, we need a motion to go into closed session to discuss litigation and personnel.
So made.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Oppenheim,
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka,
Aye.
Trustee Hebda,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz,
Aye.
Trustee Markart,
Aye.
Trustee Cook.
Motion carries. Okay, we'll be back. The village board meeting back in session. We need to vote on this.
Sure.
All right. Is there a motion to reconvene the board?
So made. Second.
Motion is second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Takaoka,
Aye.
Trustee Hebda,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz,
Aye.
Trustee Markart,
Aye.
Trustee Cook, Trustee Oppenheim.
Aye.
And obviously, I'll say aye. Okay, the motion carries. Okay, the agenda, all right. Okay, is there any citizens who wish to address the board tonight on anything other than what's going to be on committee of the whole?
Dave went home.
No?
Citizen Dave went home.
Okay. All right. Official reports, fair housing proclamation. Where is that? Okay. Whereas April 11th, 2018 marks the 50th anniversary of the passage of the U.S. Fair Housing Law, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1968, as amended, which enumerates a national policy of fair housing without regard to race, color, religion, sex, family status, handicap, national origin, and encourages fair housing opportunities for all citizens. On this landmark anniversary, we honored the pioneers who bravely worked to challenge and overcome housing discrimination. Individuals in the state of Illinois have the right to choose where to live without discrimination based on race, color, religion, age, if you're 40 or older, sex, including sexual harassment and pregnancy, family status, marital status, national origin and ancestry, disability, sexual orientation, gender identity, military status, unfavorable military discharge, and order of protection status. Acts of housing discrimination and barriers to equal housing opportunities are repugnant to a common sense of decency and fairness. The Village of Vernon Hills welcomes the opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to the principle of fair housing for all and is committed to all efforts that address discrimination in our communities. Support all programs that will educate the public concerning their rights to equal housing opportunity and to assure every person their right to live free of the fear of housing discrimination for the next 50 years and beyond. Therefore, I, Roger Byrne, President of the Village of Vernon Hills, do hereby proclaim that April 2018, being Fair Housing Month, begins a year-long commemoration of the U.S. Fair Housing Law in Vernon Hills and urge all citizens to wholeheartedly recognize the celebration throughout the year. Okay. Next is, well, the public hearing on the budget will be April 3rd at 6:55 PM. Okay, now we need can I jump to the motion?
Mr. President, I need a point of clarification from council. Should a village clerk not be available to sign documents, can the assistant village clerk sign those documents without having to re-type, re-signatory those documents?
Yes, I believe they can be amended on their face.
So that we only need then really to have our normal omnibus motion to complete that.
Correct.
Okay.
If the clerk's signature is deemed a ministerial act,
Yeah, okay,
the vote that counts.
yeah.
Okay, with that being said, make a motion to approve the omnibus vote agenda, items A through I.
Is there a second?
Second.
A through K.
I only have
I only got
Aye.
aye.
I got K.
There's an amendment.
on the agenda, it
On
only
the
states,
second, that was on the amended,
oh, I don't,
that was on the second for the amendment and the.
yes, I
Gracias, okay.
didn't open that because
Yeah.
it wasn't the whole package. The first so moves to accept the change to items A through K.
Does the second agree?
Yes.
Okay, roll call.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook? Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval and passage of Resolution 2018-011, resolution granting approval to operate an outdoor merchandise display and sales establishment for the Home Depot located at 493 North Milwaukee Avenue. Is there anybody here for that one? Yes, sir. Okay. And now, yeah, you could step up here, but
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And the display areas in past years would be located in the parking lot in front of the Garden Center. It would be in place from April 1st till August 1st. Stop signs would be located to the north and south to control vehicular traffic moving through the drive aisle between the display area and the indoor garden area. Merchandise would be limited to live goods such as flowers and trees. And similar to past years, there'd be a decorative white picket fence that would be located around the perimeter of the display area. For tonight, if the board feels the temporary use is appropriate, a motion approving the attached resolution, approving the outdoor merchandise display and sales permit is recommended, subject to the conditions that are contained in the resolution. And Bill Torborg, who's the store manager, is here to answer any questions that you may have.
you want to identify yourself for the record?
Bill Turborg, store manager for the Vernon Hills Home Depot.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for the
No.
petitioner?
It's the
Anything
same.
different than last year?
No, it'll be the same.
Same thing.
So as I would say, a motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. If there's no further comments or questions, roll call, please.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook? Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, I gotta make sure you get the right one. Okay. B, approval and passage of Resolution 2018-02, resolution granting approval to operate an outdoor special event for the Vernon Hills Police Department located at 2 Hawthorne Center. Which is that, which one is this?
That's the same one that's been organized in past years by off-duty police officers. They also do the car show in connection with the summer celebration as well. They would display classic cars in the Sears parking lot adjacent to Ring Road. Music would be provided by a DJ, and proceeds would be used to support the Vernon Township Food Pantry in the Midwest Veterans Closet of North Chicago. The event would take place on May 23rd, June 27th, July 25th, August 22nd, And September 26th of this year, the hours of operation would be 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. If the board feels that the temporary use is appropriate, then a motion approving the attached resolution is recommended, again, subject to the conditions that are referenced therein.
Okay, any comments or questions on this one?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Motion and a second, roll call.
Trustee
Excuse me.
Markwart,
Aye.
Trustee Cook, Trustee Oppenheim,
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka.
Aye.
Trustee Hebda,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz.
Aye.
Motion carries. Is there a motion? Oh. K was approval and passage of ordinance, 2018, blah, blah, 041.
Okay,
That was in the amount of,
Right.
for summer celebration.
right.
Well, that, yeah,
We
okay.
have 4-0 on our desk.
That was H-I-I-J-K.
No.
Yeah, so what is,
It's K.
was 4-0?
J, 4-1 is K.
K, so they were all
J.
approved. J and K.
Thank you.
Aye.
Got it.
Was to
Yeah.
I, so it's
J
Thank you.
and K.
J and K.
Oh, please, somebody help me here.
No,
We're good.
No, I know.
Oh.
No. This is germane to, who's the featured act, and I know his last name is Nails, on
CAA.
Saturday.
CMAA.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
be quiet, Roger. Okay,
Quiet.
Roger has to be quiet. Okay, that's great.
Never-
All right,
never
so
mind.
next item is approval of an employment agreement with Mark Fleschauer to appoint him to be our interim village manager. And the contract is being negotiated as we speak. And the amount of salary will be $15,000 a month. Plus what else was it? I'm trying to think, Jesus Christ. The insurance, you'll be added to the insurance coverage for the village.
Correct.
Yeah,
The
okay.
amount that would normally be put into a pension, were he going to participate in that,
Right.
would be put into his deferred compensation plan.
Okay.
And an automobile allowance
And an automobile allowance.
Correct.
in the amount of,
It's about 400, what was it?
400 a
400 and
month.
some of that.
We'll firm that up, but it's between $400 and $500 a month.
Which is, and all of those amounts are less than the current contract with the former village
Right,
administrator.
right.
Village
Okay.
manager.
So
motion to approve.
Second.
Motion is second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Cook, Trustee Oppenheim,
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka,
Aye.
Trustee Hebda,
Aye.
Trustee Schultz,
Aye.
Trustee Markwart.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, question. Do I need to swear the Mark in?
Yes.
Okay, we good. I don't have the swearing language memorized. So. Huh? Yeah, what do you got, I mean, you know the exact language?
Yes.
He can't do it, though.
No, you can't do
You or
it.
Joe have to do
To
it.
him.
Well, here, somebody write it down real quick?
During the interim, Mr. President, I have some additional new business / communication.
Yeah, okay. Well, wait, all right, so we voted, right,
Yeah.
Lisa? Okay. All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
This coming Saturday, the 24th, is the March for Our Lives march that is being held. The main one is being held in Washington DC. They expect somewhere in the neighborhood of 300,000 people. The city of Chicago is conducting one downtown. And for the north suburbs, we have two women in town that have dedicated a good portion of their lives over the last month or so, Heather Rabbit and Gloria Tavares, who have organized a march that will begin at 11:30, beginning at Hawthorne South. And that march will go through the Deer Path neighborhood, through Deer Path Park, return back up Fairway Drive, down Phillips, and return back to the General Hawthorne Elementary School South area. For those of you that don't know, this march was brought about after the shooting at the Parkland, Florida school. And this has kind of been a grassroots effort that's taken hold of the nation. And as a result, though, we're going to expect about 1,000 people. And I don't think they'd be sorry to say that if you haven't signed up, please sign up. And even if you don't sign up, show up. Again, it's a 3.5-mile march, although there will be transportation available approximately the halfway point to get back to the starting point if you feel you can't make the entire circuit.
Well,
But this is a very important cause in my mind, as I've spoken on it several times from this seat. We need to do something about gun violence, especially in our schools, but across this nation. So with that being said, this Saturday, March 24th, 11:30, it'll probably be snowing, sleeting, raining, your typical beautiful end of March day, but it is what it is, and hopefully we'll see everybody out there.
now, I just wanted to ask Lynn, we could put it on all the signs in town, the message signs? The message signs? Yeah, and then we already put, I think we already do, should we do another email blast or something, or? Yeah, all right, well, I'm sorry.
It's all right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just wanted to add that at Congregation Or Shalom, I received information that there's going to be an interfaith service prior to that march. At 9:30 in the morning, there's going to be a sign-making brunch. It says, please bring sign-making materials. And then at 10:15, there'll be an interfaith service led by teens and clergy, and then they'll walk over to the
Well,
march.
why don't you give Lynn the details, and then
Yeah, I can forward that to you.
we'll get that out too. Okay? All right. Chief, you want to stand and I'll swear you in? You want me to go? All right. Yeah, we can go over there, sure. Okay. Oh, boy.
Come on, Brad. Go over.
Look familiar?
Okay.
Wasn't that long ago.
You don't have a Bible, so just raise your hand, right hand. Okay. I do, Mark Fleschauer is being appointed the new interim village manager. Do you solemnly swear
I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge all the duties of the village manager according to the best of my abilities.
that I will discharge all the duties and responsibilities of the office of the village manager to the best of my abilities.
Okay. Okay. Well, congratulations, Mark
you very much.
Fleschauer. It's official.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the trust, the
Oh, you
confidence.
can talk, go ahead.
I don't have much to say. I just want to say thank you very much, and I appreciate the trust and the confidence of the support of the entire village council. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mark.
Does he need this back?
No, that's yours.
Okay.
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn and go into committee of the whole, and with my expectation that there will be no further executive session meeting
No,
tonight.
No. Yeah, there'll be no more executive session.
No.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markward?
Aye.
Trustee Cook? Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Motion carries. I'd like to call the committee of the whole meeting to order. First item of business is approval of committee of the whole meeting minutes of March 6, 2018.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Comments, questions, corrections, deletions? Roll call.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markward?
Aye.
Trustee Cook? Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay. Approval of special committee of the whole meeting minutes of March 13th, 2018. Is there a motion to approve?
So made.
Second.
Motion is second. Comments, questions, corrections, deletions? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markward?
Aye.
Trustee Cook? Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Motion carries. And if we-
Do the amusement.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump around here.
Good idea. Thank you.
Request Fantasy Amusement Company to operate an outdoor special event at Hawthorne Mall, 122 Hawthorne Center. Is there a rep here for that? And you want to state your name, please?
Sure, my name is Sandy Rothstein. I'm the
You,
office
you
manager.
need to speak directly
Sorry.
into the microphone. Draw one to you or take one of the
Okay.
hand mics.
Is that better?
What's up to you? You got to, yeah.
Okay. My name is Sandy Rothstein. I'm the office manager of Fantasy Amusement Company,
And where's that located?
Arlington Heights.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This year's carnival will be from Thursday, May 31st through Sunday, June 3rd. As in past years, the carnival will be staged on the Sears parking lot located at the northwest corner of Milwaukee Avenue and the access drive across the street from Denny's. Customer parking would be provided to the north and west of the carnival. Barricades would be provided to separate participants from vehicular traffic using Ring Road. The hours of operation would be Thursday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., Friday, 6 p.m. to 11 p.m., Saturday, 2 p.m. to 11 p.m., and Sunday, 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. The special event application, along with the site plan, is attached to your packet. For tonight, if the COW feels the temporary use is appropriate, then staff should be directed to prepare a resolution approving the special event, subject to the conditions that are outlined in your packet. A couple of important conditions that are in there is that Fantasy Amusement would be required to hire 2 off-duty Vernon Hills police officers to be on site during the operating hours of the carnival. Also, that Fantasy Amusement is required to submit a list of all employees working at the carnival to the Vernon Hills Police Department at least 7 days in advance of the event. Again, what staff is looking for tonight is a motion directing that a resolution be prepared approving the event.
Okay, one thing I want to add. Chief, do we do background checks on all or do you do them, on the carnival workers?
We do process background checks, yes.
So we're going to do them,
Yes, of course.
okay? All right, anything else?
This-
Trustee Hebda?
I just wanted to let the board know, and as well as you, that in the April board meeting, the Vernon Hills Park District is going to be coming before you to run a carnival 2 weeks earlier than yours. And their carnival will be held over by Rust-Oleum, that particular area. And they're trying to raise money for the families that have needs within our own community for summer camps, as well as classes that they hold at the Park District. So that's another carnival that's going to run 2 weeks earlier by Windy City. So I don't know if that's a problem with this board, to say that you've got one carnival 2 weeks earlier and another one, just to make you guys aware
Okay.
that there will be another request.
Well, yours
from
is
the
what,
board.
for-profit?
Yours is for profit.
Yes, correct.
Yeah,
So, and this is a non-for-profit for funds
Right.
Yeah.
for families that have needs.
Sure.
All right, well, does
Just-
anybody have any
Anyone have an
comments
issue
on
with that?
that, or?
Because there'll be 2 back-to-back.
At
At least I'm sorry.
least the NFP one is
Yeah.
first.
Well,
So
and that's for a purpose, for
Right.
raising monies for families, so.
Okay.
if people are carnivaled out, then they
And
might.
then go
be-
to this one.
Then they might.
If
be
the weather's
lost,
nice,
but-
they're not gonna be
Yeah.
carnivaled out,
Yeah.
you know. With that said, well, we already voted on it.
No, we have
No,
not.
we have.
Okay, last question then. Do you have any animals?
No.
Okay, good. All right,
Motion,
okay.
motion to approve the request
Second,
and direct staff to prepare the necessary ordinance to be approved at the next regular meeting.
and second it.
Second. Okay. Any further comments or questions? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook? Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. Now, what do we got? Dunkin' Donuts? Are the guys here from Dunkin'
Yes.
Donuts?
Yeah, he's right.
Do they bring samples?
All right, well, I guess the golf course budget will be last. Okay. This is, was it Pure?
So
Pure-
this is Pure Hit Architects.
Pure Hit Architects, yeah, okay.
They're here this evening to present their concept presentation for a proposed Dunkin' Donuts on the south portion of the existing McAllister's Deli, which is located on Town Line Road. The Dunkin' Donuts is proposing to occupy approximately 1,700 square feet of space and will utilize a secondary drive-through that will be located on the south portion of the property. As you may recall, McAllister's Deli was approved as part of a special use permit for a drive-through. However, that drive-through was for pickup only, and that is the existing site as it is, still remains to be pickup only. So this drive-through will be operating between the hours of 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. However, it's also to be noted that their peak time is certainly going to be the morning hours, as you may imagine it being a Dunkin' Donuts. The proposed site does not require any parking variations. I know we're trying to pull up a site plan right now that would show the proposed drive-through access, but
Concept COW review. There you go. Good job, Mike.
They come in and they,
so as you hopefully can see on the screen, on the southernmost portion, vehicles will be traveling westbound on the southernmost portion of the property, circulating north, and then going to the drive-through window, which is about a 375 square foot addition that will be constructed on top of the existing outdoor dining area. That'll be utilized. There's a menu board that's located farther to the southwest. And as you'll also note, they're relocating the Phillip Road access to the easternmost portion of the property. They're currently proposing that to be a full access, though staff has discussed with them potentials for restrictions of that traffic movement, but that's certainly subject to the board's discretion and additional consideration. With that, they are here to answer any questions. That's it. And this, again, is for concept review only, so we're looking for direction for them to appear through a technical review process for a public hearing in front of the Planning and Zoning Commission on a date to be determined.
that's gonna be a little confusing.
I was there tonight. I did a little reconnoitering. Yeah, from what I see on these drawings, there'll be no interference between the two drive-in spaces.
Do you see any
No.
issues with the drive-throughs?
Nope. There is plenty of room on the backside, and there is a separation of the McAllister drive-through, or there is a planned separation based on the drawing that is provided here. Looks like you're establishing a curb there along with that paved circle, so to speak. My only issue would be, you annotated a stop sign. In my mind, you may want to make some adjustment to the ramp instead of bringing the ramp that much closer to the cars, maybe straightening that ramp out, because you're kind of making people go right up in front of a car that's waiting at the window there, then to get on the ramp if you're going to park in one of those areas. But insofar as the circulation, I have no problem with that whatsoever. And with regard to closing the existing access point and creating a new access point, I think that's a wonderful idea. The current access point makes you drive past the parking spaces for Victory Center, and we've had several, I won't call them complaints, but points of notification by the residents there that they're not happy about the traffic that goes through there, and we don't really have the capability to put up a stop sign there or anything. So this will just mitigate some of that and make it a lot easier to get into the McAllister/Dunkin' Donuts parking lot. So I am 100% on board with this concept, and hopefully it passes muster during technical review. That's it.
Yeah, because it'll align with Atrium.
Yes, sir. Relatively speaking.
You understand?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
That's what I think, that's what we are trying to do.
Yeah, yeah, I think then you got obviously a lot less conflicts with the folks at the Victory Center, you know? Okay.
They will need to probably move where it's proposed farther to the east to really fully align it with the street. And I know one thing that was discussed at the staff level was whether or not we wanted to restrict the Phillip Road access to a right turn only to prevent cut-through traffic. And that's certainly something that I think if.
Wait.
I think that during the technical review, that would be a good point to weigh the pros and cons and hear back from those folks at B&Z.
You're saying, okay, a right turn off of Phillips.
Yes.
I concur with what Trustee Schultz was talking about. This is concept presentation. There's some complexities that we need to look at. When you're traversing down Phillip Road and you're going westbound, there is an offset in the curb going to the south to allow for parking spaces. Those are some of the details that we need to work through as part of technical review. So should the board approve of them moving past the concept level, we will be working out those details as part of technical review.
Well, plus there's, yeah,
There's a
you know what?
shoebox light and a telephone slick that have to be accounted for. And
There's a sewer.
yeah, that too.
Okay.
There's also quite a severe grade differential between Phillip Road and this corner of the parking lot. This is the lowest corner of their parking lot, so there's some engineering to be had.
Dave, what about the kindergarten building? How, does that impact any of this, or where are those, what are they talking about with their bus lineups and stuff?
Absolutely, good point. So in terms of the kindergarten building addition to the Park District, the pickup and drop-off is going to be off of Phillip Road. So there is a proposed connection at the end of Phillip Road. People would go to the end of Phillip Road, turn left on the library site, go down to the kindergarten site. There is a cul-de-sac, drop off or pick up their children, and then turn back out on Phillip. There's one thing I wanted to look into as far as, is there potential for people who want to cut through this parking lot, because instead of going all the way to Deer Path and then to 60 and over, will they want to just cut through your parking lot? So what Joe was reflecting was a conversation I had with him about, do we allow it to be a full access? Do we allow it just to be a right in? We acknowledge that we think there's benefits of people who want to access Dunkin' Donuts, certainly in the morning, that they don't have to travel all the way out to Route 60 back and then go back. So we think it does warrant at least a right in. Then they can come in. When they go to leave, they can take their right turn, go back to Deer Path, et cetera. But again, let's go, should you approve this, let's go through technical review and we'll answer those questions.
Yeah, well, how do you get back to Deer Path?
So for Deer Path, once you pick up your coffee and your donut, your eclair, you would turn right onto 60 and then right onto Deer Path. So there'd be an exiting onto Route 60.
All right, well, all right, go through technical review.
Because I'm not.
I mean,
I'm not keen on adding additional traffic
right,
there.
right.
So,
Yeah, people, guess what they do now?
yes.
And when you go to technical review, you may want to bring donuts and coffee for us. Just kidding.
Sure.
All right, is there a well,
this is
Keith
kind of-
usually Keith doesn't give the speech, but basically, just because we like the concept doesn't mean we're going to approve it, okay?
Right.
First stage, most of the work is done at the next stage, and
Microphone can't be heard.
I said, this is just the initial stage.
Right.
Then when you go through the next stage, that's where the yeoman's work gets done. And so then things are, 99% complete when you get through there. But that's the point where the devil is in all the details. So you'll work through all those issues.
Well, you're an architect, right?
Yes,
Well, you've done this drill before.
yes.
Okay, good. All right, okay. All right, so, yeah, I think you've heard our comments, and, I'm sure you want
Sure,
to go
we'll-
technical review.
We'll work with village engineer and we'll, try
Yeah.
to resolve these issues, no problem.
Yeah, okay.
Joe is your main contact. He'll shepherd you through P and Z.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much.
thank you. All right, so now next item is adjournment. No, I'm only kidding, it's Kemper Golf.
Included in the board packet this evening is the golf course budget as provided by Kemper and recently revised. Also included in the budget is a summary page that reflects the total expenditures as proposed of $434,446 and projected revenues of $415,283. Please note that on the summary page, the first two columns reflect actual expenditures, historical expenditures, and that third column from the left reflects the revised budget numbers, not the actual projection. So Kemper will be providing you with a projection of where they anticipate the end of year to be as of April 30th. And without further ado, I'll hand it over to Greg Roberts and Dean Litton.
Perfect. We'll wait for our PowerPoint, but while we're doing that, I've met some or most of you and some new faces. So my name's Dean Litton. I'm a regional operations executive with Kemper Sports. And I do want to take I know we've had a long night already, but just real quick to say that we, as always, appreciate this relationship. This is our original client with Kemper Sports and our most long-standing client with Kemper Sports. As a matter of fact, today we have all of our regional operation executives in town for some meetings, and our chairman of the board, Steve Lesnick, the subjects are relevant, but he made the statement, I value Vernon Hills just as much as I value Bandon Dunes, which Bandon Dunes is one of the greatest golf resorts in the world.
Get him to send me like an email to that
I'll
extent?
get a video of it, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, we truly value and appreciate this relationship and look forward to more years to come. So I'm here to talk a little bit today briefly about kind of the trends in the golf industry and kind of what happened here locally, because I think it's a pertinent story, especially in this region, what happened this year. But just nationwide golf trends, as you can see, have really, since the boom in the Tiger Woods came onto the scene in 2000, when we hit that peak in 2005, really leveled off and been kind of flat with all of the demographics across the board. So there's not been anything that's really moved the needle dramatically one way or another. But it's not an industry that's really, taking off from a growth standpoint either. These are rounds and participation through the years, and you can see it's a little bit of a roller coaster, but the past 3 or 4 years, you're really flatlined or actually coming down a little bit. Some of the interesting things of the happenings around Vernon Hills, Highland Park Country Club has closed. Lake Bluff has an unknown future at this point in time. And, from what I'm seeing and reading, there's a potential closure there in 2019. Fox Lake has closed. And, Lincolnshire's status, we think they're going to open, but we haven't determined that yet. And even if they do, there's probably going to be a pretty good reputation hit. So even with the trends in golf, I think there's some opportunity for us moving forward. This is interesting. This is a year-over-year rounds comparison in the United States, regionally and then locally. And as you can see, in Illinois, we were down 4.5%, which kind of matches what happened in Vernon Hills, but the Chicagoland area was down 3.4%. you know, in that prior year, 2016, you need to remember two things, and Greg will touch on this a little bit. We had golf in February and we had golf in November that year. It was a very warm year. But additionally, we had obviously the July flooding. We had some more rain events that I think even affected I-88 northward more than it did. So I have other courses, many of my courses are in the Chicagoland area. I saw similar trends to all of my courses that are on the northwest suburbs. Whereas I have some southwest suburb courses that didn't quite experience this loss, but they didn't have a lot of those storms that roll through that hit the north side. So, you know, it's an interesting dynamic, and it kind of plays out in some of the numbers, unfortunately. And this is just kind of a national stat at the end of the year that we get from the National Golf Foundation. If you see the box up in the right-hand corner, you know, it kind of states that Illinois loss of 4.5%, and the Chicago area was down 3.4%. So, you know, having said all that, it kind of sets up what Greg's going to talk about moving forward as far as the financials go. So we'll get into that, unless there's any questions for me.
Any questions? Who's our Kenny, whose light lit up? Down here.
Mine did.
Is it on now?
No, it's just. Good.
Okay. All right, Greg.
Okay.
Want to state your name for the record?
Yeah, Greg Roberts, I'm the general manager down at the Vernon Hills Golf Course. So I'm going to talk about the financials a little bit more detail. Dean alluded to some of the overall bigger pictures of the year that we had. So if you look at our fiscal year this year compared to fiscal year last year, rounds were down about 5.5%. Our annual pass rounds were only about 1% down. We attribute most of that to the weather, the flooding that we had in July. We had great success in the November prior, you know, great weather there. And then this past February, same thing. No real golf weather this past February. So we're looking at those particular reasons for why our rounds are down about, you know, total of 4.5%, which is right in line with the area average. Golf revenue based on this fiscal year to last fiscal year. See, total, we're down $8,000 golf revenue, total cart and greens fees. Annual pass revenue, we stayed about flat. We sold about the same number of annual passes we did prior year. So total golf revenue down about $8,000. Again, that's all rounds related. Total revenue compared last year, this year, or fiscal year, down about $56,000 we're projecting for this year. This comes in a myriad of ways. $13,000 in food and beverage revenue, but we're up $8,000 in golf shop revenue. The cart lease was $17,000 of that expense, but we saved $9,000 in overall operating expenses after the cart lease. Where the biggest hit came from was our cost of goods. We brought in Pear Tree to try to drive more revenue, more parties, better food for our golf outings, but that came with a lower margin. I sold more in the golf shop, we sold more in the golf shop, but we sold more hard goods. Those things have a lower margin. And then I was pretty aggressive with our beer pricing. Sold quite a bit of beer, lower margin. So what you look at there is we're where our margins were low. So that was our biggest hit to our expense line, was our cost of goods. So the fiscal year compared to budget, see all the numbers up there. Greens fees, we missed by about 20, and cart fees, we missed by 11. Those numbers shake out to pretty much the rounds numbers as well. More rounds, we'll have more green fee, more cart fee numbers. Annual pass, we only missed by $3,000 there. You know, we're going to stay pretty flat there, it seems like. So total golf revenue down about 11%. You can see here we've correlated to where we're doing more rounds in the third-party area. Third party is the Golf Now, Groupon, Group Golfer, teeoff.com. We're doing a large amount of rounds in our third-party rounds, but those are lower dollar per round rounds. So as our rounds might go up a little bit, everyone's online shopping for a bargain. So we're trying to find a way to flip those customers to be our customers, get their money, opposed to the money going to Golf Now.
Just give it to Mark.
So total fiscal year to budget, we're going to be short to budget by $56,000. It breaks down into golf revenue being $23,000 of that, 11 in cart, 20 in food and beverage, but we higher by $7,000 in the golf shop. Again, we already talked about this, rounds were down. Our cost of goods was our biggest expense. We did save $8,000 on payroll and $1,000 on operating expense. So for our fiscal year,
How much money did we lose?
$56,000 is our projection.
Okay. So that's a little bit more than 241.
Correct.
No. We made $241.
Right, that's what I said. Year before.
3 years
I
ago
know,
or something.
I'm just saying, you know.
Right.
Okay.
So for the projection for the budget for this next fiscal year, we're projecting the total revenue to go up by $17,000, total expenses to go down by $18,000, to be a $37,000 positive compared to this year. We're going to do that by increasing rounds, increasing green fee revenue, cart revenue, food and beverage revenue, basically by making sure our prices are more in line, making better margins, and a small increase in annual pass sales. The biggest way we're going to try to achieve these are, normalizing our cost of goods. Like I said, raise the beer price a little bit, raise the banquet price a little bit. Jim's laughing because his beer went up $1. And then, just running some special events in the golf shop, making margins on all the events that we run. Overall, just having kind of more rounds and then charging a little bit more for everything we do. This is a quick snapshot of our marketing plan. I kind of spoke to some of these already. So to increase green fee revenue, we're going to watch our white space on our tee sheet, change prices where we need to, drive rounds and revenue that way. I've already created a Thursday night league that'll hopefully drive rounds, cart fee revenue, food and beverage sales. We're going to try to lower our use of the third-party tee sheet or tee times. Like I said, we're going to try to draw those customers to our website, get them to book through us, so we capture all that revenue. And then continue growing our food and beverage events throughout the year. There is a spreadsheet in your packet that Nikki made copies for us. You can see we grew our event revenue by almost double compared to last year. Unfortunately, we might not have made as much money on it, but we're growing the events. The events are starting to come to our clubhouse from the neighborhood, so we're going to try to drive some more of those.
Just as an aside, within the Hawthorne Neighbor Facebook group, there was a posting this week. The folks that were there Saturday and I believe Sunday made several nice postings concerning, wow, what a hidden little gem that is a few hundred yards away.
Exactly.
We'll be there more often.
I've already tried to post, I won't say daily, trying to post daily on our Facebook page about happenings, or that was just a picture of a fire pit that did that for us. So, more stuff like that, just to drive more new faces through the door. We started
Well, and then you got Lou playing.
Oh yeah, Lou helps. Absolutely.
Well, it didn't hurt.
No, it was a great day.
No,
It was like 100 people there that night. It was a good night. We've developed a year-long golf calendar, so we're going to feature a golf event every month, April through November. So we'll have one golf event every month that'll hopefully drive some rounds and some revenue, some food and beverage sales. Then the golf shop, just realize or normalize our cost of goods, make sure we're selling things that make us the best profit. We have our merchandise priced appropriately. And food and beverage, I kind of already talked about this stuff, special nights, band nights, and then just getting our prices in line with the industry standards. That's the gist. Any questions for me?
I'll open it up to Trustee Takayoko.
Okay, so management fee, is that just a flat fee? Is it 45,000 or is it a percentage of revenue?
It's just a flat fee.
Oh, it's just a flat
Yep,
fee?
yep.
So 45,000 is the flat fee?
Correct.
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? So what's the bottom line number, Nikki, that we need to budget?
So the bottom line approval that we're looking for, typically we approve the expenditure line item. The total is $434,446.
Okay, that's on, I got all these different pages here, so. Summary. Is it this one?
Yep, you got it. Summary page. About midway through the second column to the right, or second column from the left.
434, 446.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a motion?
Yes, there's a motion to approve for the golf course budget for fiscal year 18-19, the amount of $434,446.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Any other comments or questions? If not, roll call.
Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook?
Motion carries. Okay, with that said, is there a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Is there a second?
Please say thank you to.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Appreciate your time.
Okay, I concur. All right, roll call, please.
Trustee Takaoka?
Aye.
Trustee Hebda?
Aye.
Trustee Schultz?
Aye.
Trustee Markwart?
Aye.
Trustee Cook? Trustee Oppenheim?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you and good night. And the next meeting is, yep.